How's it going, guys? So today we're going to be doing something a little special for a friend of mine. My friend is supposed to get married about a week from today, but unfortunately because of the pandemic, we're not able to, we're not able to attend his wedding. We're not able to do anything special for him as a group. So I decided today that we're going to invite him over. We're going to keep our distance just so that we're safe. But we're going to be cooking him that 6-day dried steak, and we're kind of just go through the prep, and then we'll also throw in a little snack that we used to make when we were younger, just to show the high end of a dried steak and the low end of something that we used to do when we were in high school. Okay, so before we get into actual cooking of the steak, I want to make sure that we're going to temper the steak as much as possible, because we are cooking a pretty not super thick steak, but it's not going to be something that I want to cook when it's cold outside. But this one we're going to temper it, and then we're also going to season it right now. The amount of salt that you want to put on there, I mean, it's subjective, but also it's a thick cut of meat. Also, it has plenty of fat, so you want to make sure you get enough salt on there as possible. Some people say you want to have it look like there's a light snowing of salt on top. And now that I got enough on the actual pan itself, we'll just roll this around, get all the salt on the sides, and especially because we got all that fat on the side, we really don't want it to be, or there to be under seasoned fat, because then it'll just kind of taste super rich without having that flavor really being able to come out. And we're gonna leave it on a cooling rack just so it gets enough air all the way around, and it'll just sit like that until we're ready to cook it. Alright, so the other thing I want to talk about is how I'm going to be cooking this steak. So I tried doing multiple different kind of cooks with all these steaks, and I think most people will probably do a reverse sear of some sort. It's going to be in the oven, or if it's going to be in the smoker. I would say, other than the one that I'm going to be doing today, which is a little bit hot and fast, is the reverse sear in the oven. I wanted my favorite one to be the reverse sear in the smoker, but actually that ended up being my least favorite one. I think with like the age on the steak itself and also the extra smoke, it kind of tasted like cured meat, kind of a little hammy, and not necessarily that it tasted bad, but it just wasn't something that I was looking for in a steak. I would definitely still try it if you guys are interested in doing it. I think that method works really well for a fresh steak, but it still does get a little bit of that cured hammy flavor anyway from that extended amount of smoke. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be cooking the steak on the grill, and we're going to go hot and fast, and we're going to flip this steak every 30 seconds until we get an internal about 120. And then when that happens, we're going to throw a cast iron on top of the grill and get a really, really nice even sear on the top. The other thing I want to talk about is a cast iron. I would say most steaks that are finished on a cast iron are probably my favorite, just because you get that nice crust on the outside, and it's nice and even too. So what I want to do is, because on the grill it takes a long time for the cast iron to get hot, but not only hot, but I want that temp of that cast iron to be even throughout the entire thing. So one tip that I would recommend is, as you guys are tempering your steaks right now, I would stick a cast iron in the oven to about 450, 500, however hot your oven will go, and keep it in there for like 30 minutes, or as long as your steak is tempering, and it should be ready to go by then. We're gonna pull that thing out as soon as we're done searing off that steak. Until that happens, we're just gonna wait. And I'm also going to show you, also, like I said, that weird thing that we saw on TV one time when we were in high school, and we always kind of made at home whenever we were bored. So stay tuned for that. All right, it's the man of the hour. Sitting at least 6 feet apart, so we're good. We got the fire going right now, and we're ready to cook. He also brought some wine, so we're gonna be day drinking. Oh yeah. Excellent. We're good to go. But
it's quite early,
guys. Hey man, there's no early in quarantine time anymore, man.
Benny's is like always lit. 24/7. There's always cars.
We're gonna start getting this cook ready to go, and then we got a couple other surprises. We're just gonna kill time. I haven't seen this guy in 2 months? Yeah, 2 months.
Show everyone
so.
your hair, Joe.
My hair? For those people who are used to seeing me on a regular basis, my hair is getting really, really long. So, yeah.
Oh my god.
I see it every day, so I don't notice it. But people who only see me every once in a while, even my parents will say so sometimes. So. Alright, so with our steak, what we're going to do is we're going to, like I said, we're going to flip it every 30 seconds, and then when we get the cast iron out, we're going to baste it with this. We're going to cook in this dry-aged beef tallow. I got some compound butter in here that we're going to melt, and then we're going to finish it off with black pepper and the malt and salt. Just another tip for you guys who aren't cooking with this style of grill. If you guys want to have a hot and cool zone, I like to only put one grate on so that instead of taking something and flipping it because you might break your meat or your veggies or whatever you got in there, I just like to slide it over. It just makes it a little bit easier to control that temp, and yeah, you won't risk breaking all your stuff on the grill if it gets too hot and stick. So, and also it'll be easier for us to check our internal temp later on the steak while we're going.
Oh.
Good.
Oh.
Really, celebration, dude. All right, we got another friend who's joined the group.
It's less than 10. It's
Less than 10, and we all have masks, so.
What's going on?
Uh,
Are you vlogging or is this live?
yeah, we're vlogging, dude.
Oh,
You're part of a
I thought
YouTube
this was
video.
live stream.
This
You're
is,
a YouTube star
I
now.
guess,
Yes!
steak review.
I mean, I haven't had like meat in like 2 months, so
So anything's good at this point?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can't ask me to distinguish regular steak from dry steak right now. It's steak.
All right. Fair enough. All right.
Fancy now, huh?
Yeah, man. He brought the bottle of wine. Drew's frying the steak.
Dude. It's a little bit funky. This is the same one that I saw in the fridge, like.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
January. That
Yeah.
picture's long.
I know, dude. I'm starting to grow a mullet. I can't even talk right now. A little mullet in the back.
Dude, every time I go to order, like I'm stuttering like a madman. It's like I don't talk to people anymore.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Like face to face, you know. So I'm just like it's worse than like normal. Wait, what happened to it?
I never had one. I had a PS4.
This is hilarious.
No, wait, I thought we bought you an Xbox One.
No, that was a 360, but the
That was a 360?
yeah. So
Oh,
my friend Andrew right here wanted to give me an early birthday present during this pandemic, and we used to play Xbox together in Gears of War. So he bought me the newest one, Gears of War 5, but I have an Xbox 360. I haven't had an Xbox One ever. But thank you, Andrew. He was a good friend bringing me.
That's very nice of you.
All right, so I got a surprise. I already told John, but we're gonna do. So I wanted to do a kind of high end, doing the dried steak, and then going back to our low end, like what we used to do in high school. So we're gonna be doing Monte Cristo dogs.
Yes! I haven't done that in years.
Yeah. For those who don't know what a Monte Cristo dog is or what goes on it, what do we do?
Okay, so you butterfly a dog. What kind of dog do we use?
Oh
You're gonna think it's an actual dog.
Oh, a hot dog.
Well, I think it was a hot dog,
dog.
but then we used brats, right?
I feel
Right?
like it tasted better with the broth.
Yeah,
So
hopefully
you
this one
butterfly a
broth.
broth. You put cheese on. You put provolone cheese.
Yeah.
That's what we saw on Man vs. Food. Toast the bun. Spread some strawberry jelly on it. Then you put it together. That's it.
All right.
Sweet and savory.
All right, we'll show people how to make it.
Year anniversary.
10-year anniversary of us
Yep.
doing it for the very first time.
Oh yeah,
Was it good?
absolutely.
Honestly, it can't not be good.
It can't not be
It's
good.
salty and sweet and just like.
It's a great day.
You gonna sprinkle salt on this?
You can if you want. I didn't do it.
Oh,
My hands will make this cookie looking fucking enormous.
we got like chocolate bars in here.
Yo, what did you use?
Bar chocolate. Bar chocolate.
Oh, that's one.
Just look better.
Oh,
So both Andrew and John have left. It was just a really good time just to see friends that I haven't seen in about 2 months or so. Yeah, it was just a fun time just to kind of reconnect, especially as, you know, John is getting ready to get married next week and all that. But, you know, I just wanted to say to all of you guys who, I know a lot of people who have, you know, missed weddings or special birthdays and babies being born, all that kind of stuff. I know I can't imagine having to not have that time to celebrate with those around you, but hopefully you guys are staying safe, that hopefully you guys can, you know, celebrate those things in the next year, and that everything will be a little bit safer, and, you know, when all this is all over, we can all, you know, celebrate together. But thanks guys for joining me and my friends during this time. We're just kind of hanging in our backyard. You know, we tried our best to, you know, keep masks on when we were getting closer and to make sure we were staying 6 feet away. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for checking this out. I got a couple more videos coming up in the future that are more vlog rather than cook videos, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll see you then.
Like grape juice. To be honest.
100% Welch's.
Like with like sugar, tons of sugar.
This is pretty sweet though for a cab.
Yeah. For what?
Cabernet.